Welcome along, fellow time travelers. These days, it feels like everyone's buying cheap, mass-produced furniture that's all about looking modern, but falls apart in a few years. Antiques, though, they're a whole different vibe, and I think they're gonna make a big comeback. I really do, and I'm gonna tell you why. You see, our grandparents and parents had it right. They filled their homes with sturdy, beautiful pieces that told stories and had the potential to last forever. Let's be honest, shall we? We kinda sorta need to get back to that. Not just because quality lasts, but because antiques give our homes and our families and our culture something special that flat pack furniture just can't touch. Back in the day, as the cool kids say, our grandparents' houses were full of treasures: an old oak dining table, a creaky rocking chair, or maybe a fancy schmancy silver tray passed down from their parents. These weren't just things. They were built to last, made with serious craftsmanship, not always, but oftentimes. A solid wood dresser from the 1800s could take a beating and still look amazing, especially if it's refurbished. I mean, have you seen my video on Lauren Bacall's apartment? If not, check it out. She surrounded herself with beautiful antiques. And there's no way we're smarter than Lauren Bacall. She knew what she was doing. So compare some beautiful antiques to today's particle board stuff that wobbles after a year. Once upon a time, more people knew quality was worth it. So what in the world happened? Well, after World War II, the world kind of went crazy for cheap, new stuff. Big companies figured out how to churn out furniture fast and cheap. And trust me when I tell you, if something's fast and cheap, you probably don't want it. But suddenly everyone wanted sleek, modern looks. Places like IKEA made it easy to grab a bookshelf or bed for next to nothing. But there's a catch. Those pieces have no soul. They have no story. They're made to be replaced, not cherished. And way too many people got hooked on new and forgot the charm of old things. With history, don't you know? So here's why I think we should hit up antique shops again. First, antiques are actually a smart buy. Sure, a vintage table might cost more up front, sometimes a lot more up front, but it'll outlast a dozen cheap ones. Plus, antiques can go up in value. So you're not just buying furniture, you're investing. I mean, think about it. If you buy furniture that you're going to pass on to your kids and your grandkids, that's money they don't need to spend on those things. And that money that they would have spent can then be put to better use. More than that, though, antiques carry stories. And all my fellow time travelers know how much I love stories. I mean, look around you. Do you have any antiques in your home? Don't you have stories to tell about them and who they belong to? You know you do. And so what do you know? That old chair might have been where your great-grandma sat to tell stories, or that clock could have ticked through decades of family dinners that you remember with fond memories. Passing these down keep your family's history alive, giving kids something real to connect to their roots. And on a bigger scale, antiques keep our culture rich. They're like little time capsules, showing off the skill and artistry of the past. In a world full of throwaway stuff, choosing antiques is a way to push back against waste and sameness. They remind us to care about quality and history and not filling up garbage dumps. A home with antiques feels alive. Every scratch or worn edge has a tale to tell, don't you know? Unlike the blank slate of modern stuff that means nothing to nobody. I mean, what do you think? I think the world's better with antiques in it. They spark conversations, they tie us to our past, and they make our spaces feel unique. So I say more people need to go out there and check out estate sales and flea markets and local antique shops. I think people should grab a piece with character, something that'll last and carry your family's story forward. It's not just about furniture, it's about bringing back a sense of history and a heart to our homes. It's money well spent. At least that's what I'm thinking. Alrighty, so at this point you're probably wondering why I'm suddenly chirping about antiques when I'm usually about old houses and gardens and weird history stuff. Plus I'm just getting started on all my cool chronovisions about the Dakota apartment building and other places. Well, here's the scoop. You see this video you've been watching? Well, I shot this on my own. You see, my friend has got warehouses stuffed, filled to the brim with crazy cool antiques, millions of dollars worth. And he's ready to offload it all. And he asked me to try to help him figure out how to do that quick and easy. Now I could already hear you saying, "Hey Scott, just call an auction house. Call Sotheby's, call Christie's." Yeah, we already know that. Trust me, he's been in the antique biz forever and he already knows all the auction folks. But for reasons I'm not going to spill, you can use your imagination, he's not going to get into the whole auction thing, where they zoom on down and they inventory everything and then they haul it off, then they inventory everything again, then they do a ton of research, and then maybe they hold the auction in like a year or maybe 2, and then after all that they send a check after taking their cut. And then you got to deal with all the stuff that didn't sell. And trust me when I tell you, that's not exactly an option worth considering. And so yeah, he just wants to sell it straight up. No middleman. So be honest with me, do you got $1 million or $2 lying around? Or do you know someone who does and can move antiques like a pro? On the double quick? Maybe an antique merchant or interior designer or decorator or an investor or anyone else like that? Well, if so, what you waiting on? Shoot me an email. It's in the description below. Tell me who you are and why you're the best person to handle this. And then I'll pass that info on to my friend's rep to make sure you're not some weirdo and are legit. And no, I'm not going to tell you where their stuff's at. I'm not crazy. Well, you know, I'm just not going to tell you. I mean, not in this video. In real life, yeah, you know, if you're legit. And so yeah, we're talking about warehouses full of beautiful and valuable antiques. Bronze statues, porcelains and sconces and paintings and furniture, you name it. Amazing, right? Yeah, I know all sorts of interesting people. But all that aside, I really want to know, what's your vibe on antiques? What do you think is the future for antiques? Are people still interested in them? I mean, yeah, some people are, but are a lot of people still interested in them? Or has our culture just fallen from such great heights that there's simply no appreciation for them anymore? What's the future like? Are we just gonna live in a bland world filled with cheap stuff all around us that means nothing to nobody? I really want to know what you think about this. I really do. This is the kind of stuff I think about. And outside of brainstorming about the future, what about you? What kind of antiques do you have? Did you inherit your grandmother's or your mother's Singer sewing machine? You know how much I love those, right? So yeah, do you still have it? Or do you wish you did? In fact, do you own any antiques? And if so, are you looking to get more? And if you do have a bunch of antiques, what are your plans for them in the future? Do you have friends or family or neighbors that are going to get them? I hope you do. And if you were rolling in dough, would you buy these warehouses filled with my friends' antiques? You know I would. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Kindly remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Please check out the links below to learn how to support my research and productions. This channel is sponsored by CampfireShop.com. Can you do me a favor and check them out? And buy some awesome candles, herbal supplements, teas, and more. Kindly be kind to all of our fellow earthlings, and please do not harm them. And do yourself a favor and go to a local shelter and adopt a cat or a dog or both. You and they will be very glad that you did. Until next time, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.